Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Patrick, back today with another video. Today, of course, we are checking out the newly released Akai MPK Mini Mk3. This Mk3 is the next gen to one of the top choice budget MIDI keyboards, and it's a big favorite of bedroom beat makers and pro producers alike. Personally, I've always praised the Akai MPK Mini for being a great budget-friendly keyboard that packs a lot of really good features in a small and portable footprint. But in more recent years, the Mk3's predecessor, the Mark II, had kind of developed a reputation for being a sort of jack of all trades but a master of none, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I have also noticed people starting to turn to other options for their budget MIDI keyboard purchases. So in this video, I want to give you a brief overview of the improved features of the MPK Mini Mk3. Does this Mk3 reclaim its spot as the best-selling industry standard MIDI controller? It's at least what it says on the box here. In any event, hopefully I can help you determine if this is a good MIDI keyboard option for you. As usual, I will be giving one of these MPK Minis away to one of you guys. Details for that giveaway will be at the end of the video. That's enough intro. Let's get into the new and improved features on this Akai MPK Mini Mk3. So let's start by talking about this new Keybed. Now Akai is calling this their Gen 2 Enhanced Dynamic Keybed. And this Keybed improvement addresses the biggest issue that people had with the MPK Mini Mark II. The previous generation Keybed, the keys were flimsy, they were plasticky, the velocity response and accuracy of the key feel wasn't all that great, and a ton of people reported having issues with the keys themselves physically breaking off. Now, only time will tell how these keys hold up over time, but just from using this keyboard for the last couple weeks here in my studio, I can definitely confirm that this Gen 2 Keybed is a huge improvement over the last generation Keybed. These keys feel much more sturdy, a lot less flimsy, the playing experience is a lot nicer, the velocity sensitivity is way more accurate and dialed in. These keys also seem to have a lot more key travel, which just makes the overall playing experience on this Keybed a lot nicer. Of course, this is just a 25 key mini Keybed, but this Keybed is definitely a huge improvement on the last gen Keybed. And to piggyback off of that improved Keybed, let's briefly talk about this improved build quality, because this MPK Mini Mk3 has a nice weight to it. It is made almost entirely of plastic, but it's a nice, sturdy, high-grade plastic. It doesn't feel nearly as flimsy as the MPK Mini Mark II felt, but at the same time, it's not so heavy that it loses all of its lightweightness and portability. It's a nice balance, so definitely a thumbs up for improved build quality. Let's move on to one of the features that is probably the biggest draw of the Akai MPK Mini, and that's the drum pads. A lot of people would argue that the MPK Mini Mark II got the drum pads right. Akai really didn't need to improve this feature with the Mark III. That said, I do think these drum pads are a step up from the drum pads that were in the MPK Mini Mark II. These drum pads are a little bit thicker, a little bit nicer to play. The velocity sensitivity on these large MPC style pads is really great. You can really get some nice dynamics out of your finger drumming. And they've also added this pad bank feature, so now you can bank between two different sets of drum pads, giving you 16 total drum pads that you can now program. My only gripe is that these pads are a little bit more stiff. They're not quite as nice to play as some of the traditional Akai MPC drum pads, but of course, the Akai MPCs are much more expensive devices. Of course, they're going to have nicer pads, but that's my only gripe, and maybe I'm just a little disappointed that these aren't a little bit squishier, nicer to play, but at the same time, you don't see nice big MPC style pads in a lot of MIDI keyboards at this price point. So these improved pads are definitely still a welcomed addition to the Mark III. Hey guys, real quick, if you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button for me. Really helps the channel out. I also hope you'll consider subscribing. On this channel, we talk about everything from gear and instruments to songwriting and music production. So I hope you'll stick around. Anyway, let's get back to the video. The 8 rotary knobs have been upgraded as well. These knobs are now endless encoders, which give you way more flexibility, obviously, when tweaking parameters in your software instruments or within your DAW. The knobs themselves are much bigger. They're a lot nicer and more tactile to use, and they're a lot less plasticky and flimsy feeling than the knobs on the Mark II. The omnidirectional joystick is back at it again, baby. And this is Akai's space-saving solution to pitch and modulation wheels that you typically find on keyboards. I guess it is a little gimmicky, but I've always liked it. It works perfectly fine. The MPK Mini's arpeggiator feature has always been one of the best options available in keyboards at this price point, and the Mark III is no different. Tons of flexibility, tons of customization. Of course, we've still got the note repeat feature, which is really nice when you're programming drums. We also still have our octave controls as well. On the back, we have our USB input and an input jack for a sustain pedal. I was a little surprised to see that Akai chose to omit having a MIDI output feature on this keyboard. It would have been really nice to see Akai include that like Novation did with the Launch Key Mini, but at the end of the day, not a huge deal. Lastly, let's talk about the hugely hyped OLED display that Akai added to the Mark III version of the MPK Mini. So basically this tiny little screen gives you some real-time visual feedback. Things like note velocity, CC, it'll give you some information on different parameters that you're controlling. Personally, these little OLED screens don't really do a whole lot for me. It's definitely nice to have as like a little something extra, but it's also not telling me anything that my computer screen, literally a foot away, isn't already telling me. So just my personal opinion, there are definitely a lot of people who are really excited about this. This new MPK Mini does come with some included software that's worth noting. You get some different piano sounds with Mini Grand and Velvet. It also comes with Hybrid 3, and it also comes with a download of MPC Beats, but you can just download this from their website. Anybody can get it. MPC Beats is meant to be a MPC style beat making software. Definitely worth checking out if you are into beat making. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap up today's video. All in all, I think the MPK Mini Mark III is a really great improvement on the last generation MPK Mini. And again, I think this is one of the top choices for anybody looking to pick up a budget-friendly MIDI keyboard. You get a lot of really good features in a compact and portable form factor, all for right around $100, and that's pretty hard to beat. So if you guys are interested in this MPK Mini Mark III, I will include links in the description below for you. And if you do want to check out some other affordable MIDI keyboard options, I'll be sure to link up a couple videos for you guys. Finally, let's get into the giveaway. All you have to do to enter is make sure you are subscribed to this channel and you've got those post notifications turned on, and then leave a like and a comment at the bottom of this video. And in the comments, why don't you introduce yourself to this little community we've got here and let us know what kind of music you'd like to make. I've got some new music out over on Spotify if you want to go check that out, show some love. I definitely appreciate that. But listen, guys, until next time, my name's Patrick. I'll catch you real soon, all right? Peace.